Wow, no countdown?
Hello, and welcome to our second group of San Francisco by Night.
The
For
better group.
those who are currently typing right now, please stop or put yourself on mute or push to talk. Did you cut it? Technical difficulties. I need to ask my recorder, is it still recording or are we done?
No, it is.
Okay. Sorry to the audience, a bit of a technical difficulty mishap there. This is San Fran by Night, World of Darkness, a Hunter the Vigil homebrew campaign at the start that we have two groups currently playing. These groups are not limited to one another. In other words, they can interact with each other as they see fit. San Francisco, year 2077. Technology has flourished throughout the world. It has truly become an era of cyberpunk. But this is the world of darkness. There are always things lurking in the shadows, things that people are unaware of. So, how does humanity get by? Well, maybe they don't. Our story in this world takes us to the next one. After the previous intro, I need not say much about the current predicament that the others found themselves in. And tonight, we focus on the next one. People who have their own personal flaws, own agendas, own goals. So I will start the intro similar to how I did the first one, starting from left to right. Christine, tell us about your character, what she looks like, where she is, what is she doing at this point in time?
Well, she looks like in the picture. Dark hair, pale blue eyes, big ass tattoo on her chest. Pretty thin build, but uh, quite tall also. Well, average, you would say, for 2077, but for today's standards, she would probably be considered tall. Um, She's staying in an apartment with her roommate, Ruben, who is her brother's childhood BFF. And currently they're playing VR ping pong.
Okay. VR has become the primary source of gaming nowadays, especially in the year 2077. Virtual reality has become standard rather than something people sought after. And to answer the question, Christine, I heard all of that with the type. Anyway, going next to this interesting looking fellow. Bullet, why don't you tell us about your character and what he's doing?
My character's name is Ruben Seamus Flynn. He is of Irish descent. Um, he is a redhead with green eyes, and he has a goatee and a mustache that he can twirl, because why not? And he is about 6'1", and he has a hangover. He's wearing a bathrobe right now, and he's playing goddamn VR ping pong, and he kind of hates it. And yeah. Oh yeah, and he has some tattoos on his arms, sleeves. Yeah.
Not so.
Well, I'll introduce Officer Christine Valentine of the San Francisco PD. She's well built, powered by AA batteries and diesel fuel, mostly by the fact that what was once person has been pretty much replaced by metal. So pretty much she's
She
so
has
yeah,
become a synth.
she's very much a synth. Yes, through very unfortunate circumstances. But continuing to live her life the best she can, living with her fiance and living with her fiance and his daughter. And right now, she's with some fellow officers. We're taking the oldest tradition of any police officer in the city, which is waiting for something to do at the donut shop.
Oh, don't you worry about it. Next character, Lucas. Tell us a bit about this guy.
My character is named Caden. He's he's a businessman, or used to be at least. Now he leaves that business to a retainer of his. He usually spends his time meditating in his mansion and with his butler.
Butler, in quotes, huh?
Oh, I mean, how
Keyword but.
Major domo. How do I say that?
I'm kidding.
The interesting four characters find themselves in a lovely little world we have here. Most of these characters are somewhat ignorant of the world around them, but their eyes have been opened in some way. Here, there, somewhere. But they don't really know quite what to think about the things they've seen. After all, media portrayals of things that go bump in the night, like vampires and werewolves, are all just fairy tales, right? Huh. I better be careful as the storyteller. I did just say the word fairy tales. The Fae can get quite offended. Anyway, back to the story. Miss Valentine, as you and your compatriots are sitting there this lovely night, enjoying one of the many donut shops that is in fact open 24/7 in San Francisco.
Beautiful city. Just. Yes.
You notice that across the street is a well-known drug establishment. Now, in 2077, drugs have become very commonplace. However, there are still illegal substances that are tried to be trafficked, especially the high-end, shall we say, physically enhancing drugs.
Not
One
the
is
steroids.
Yep, one such in particular is called Red Dust. It's very unoriginal because there were many media portrayals that had drugs that were called Red Dust. So people just made one and called it Red Dust because, well, humans are ignorant and idiotic and tend to name things the same all over the place. And this particular area that you guys are kind of staking out and watching, you're starting to notice a bit of activity. Would you go ahead and roll me a Wits plus Composure?
Wisdom plus composure.
Wits plus Composure.
Okay. So I just literally click both of these? Or how do I add these?
You click wisdom and then you click
Oh, wow, okay.
composure and then you click roll above on the upper right.
So just cheat roll? Or
Yes.
oh, I didn't roll.
Click the red dice.
Oh, the dice itself. Oh gosh, all the Discord notifications are popping up right on the freaking. Oh, please don't expand that. Well, Wisp was composure. Simple roll sheet. Yes, sheet roll dice.
One of the few things to learn about World of Darkness is how to do the rolls. That is
Oh,
why
that's
we
why
always.
modifier.
That is why we always have an intro session.
Oh. Oh no, it's one of those things. It's one of those weird input value boxes.
Just
Maybe.
confirm it at 0.
There it is. Psh, wait. 3 successes? Hmm.
Sorry. Your ST was having a really hard time with music selection. Because it just wasn't working. Nonetheless, you got 3 hits. You look across the street to this well-known drug house, and you can see some activity starting to brew. You see 2 men get out of a car with a very large duffel bag, and they are indeed carrying weapons. Both of these men are known felons as you look upon your scanner, and their faces pop up with warrants.
Oh shit. I look to my fellow officers like, aren't those the Alvarez brothers?
Yeah, they are. Want to go? Want all of us to handle this at once, or how do you want to do?
Uh, all right.
I don't know, Jim. I say we let the badass robot chick go first.
All right. Adjust hat. All right. We'll do the old Terminator thing. So pretty much I'm gonna take the lead, and if if you see anything any shit start to go down, you guys pop out of nowhere.
You got it, Toots.
Toots me.
He shrugs. He's like, yeah.
Anyway. All right, let's go, sugar tits.
Yeah, sure thing.
So when everyone's in position, I cross the street to engage.
So I take it you're going to confront them directly then?
Oh yes.
You walk around the alleyway to where they were going, and it's kind of like this little indention of almost like a C. And you can see one light in the alleyway kind of shining down, giving this nice yellow kind of haze. It is currently raining, but it's not like a massive downpour. It's just a little drizzle. And
Oh, I'm gonna rest.
not with that kind of metal, you're not. You walk around the side of the corner, and you can see both of the men waiting at a door, kind of just impatient.
You could catch malaria waiting in the rain like this.
Huh? What? Nothing to see here, officer.
Oh well. Yeah, not a lot going on around here. It's just some rain, some creepy little light, and a a weird door to an obvious that looks like a very sketchy situation. So if there's nothing to see here, then mind telling me what you're doing?
Hey, wait a minute. As they kind of start squinting at you through the light as you start to approach towards like the light that's shining down from the top of the. They're like, "Oh, you're a fucking synth. Get out of here." They'll give anyone a badge these days.
Yeah. Either way, what are you doing here?
We're ordering pizza. Fuck off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna need see some ID right now.
He gladly produces his ID in the form of a middle finger.
Hmm. Okay, it's gonna be like that then. I'm gonna, I have my brain is physically connected to like communication, so I immediately send them the text to start coming in.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yeah, all right, Alvarez brothers, you're under. If you don't, I'm gonna detain you now.
You don't know what you're doing here. You don't know who you're pissing off.
Oh well, you see,
The door behind them open, but there's no one there.
I tell them, don't you do it.
Look, you are pissing us off, cop lady. Now just shut the foot. He doesn't manage to finish the.
He doesn't manage to finish the sentence.
Nope.
Uh, what happens to him?
You look down the alleyway, and as he's talking, just as he's about ready to say probably some sort of obscenity, you see the man get yanked back through the door. Now, the best way I can describe this is typically when you see someone yanked back in a movie, you see them kind of pulled and they make a grunt, and they fall onto a ground or slam into something and they get up and walk away from it. However, when the human body is pulled back with a certain amount of force, damage is done. And besides seeing this man pulled through the door at an extremely fast rate, you also hear a very loud crunch sound. The other man immediately turns and goes, ah! And he starts running towards you since there's only one way out of the alleyway past the door. And he just starts like, oh, what the fuck is that? But you don't see anything. There's nothing that came through the door. It's kind of dark as you look in, but there's nothing out attacking you right now. Two other officers immediately tackle the other guy and start subduing him.
I'm gonna say, shit's going on there. I'm going in. I'm gonna pull my two revolvers,
Mm-hmm.
which the two Smith and Wesson 500s, and I'm going in.
All right, you go in. And I assume you turn on your nice little night vision thing.
Yep.
Okay. Roll me a wits plus composure, please. Another perception for a different scene. I mean, it's one success, still technically barely getting by. You can see a lot of blood. There is a kind of a blood smear trail on the floor going up the stairway. Off to the right, you got a kitchen that looks like it hasn't been cleaned in weeks. And off to the left, you have a living room that is obviously a junkie living room. due to the needles, cocaine, and other God forbidden drugs running around.
Oh no. Oh, this went from 0 to 60 real fucking quick. All right. Uh. So I'm gonna, with caution, um, stealthily go towards the direction of the blood smear.
Moment. Let me see if I can actually get the music to work.
Hmm. Dun, 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 dun.
You follow the blood trail upstairs. This house is very dark. None of the lights are working. And the only light you can see coming in through the house is from the occasional street light kind of glare and maybe the occasional flying car passing by. It's distorting. One minute it's dark, one minute it's light. But your night vision helps things out. You can at least have a clear focus on where to keep your footing.
Hmm.
It's still difficult. This. You could swear that the shadows are following you. There's no one here. You're not picking up any life sign, at least not directly in your vision at the moment. But things are shifting and moving. Maybe it just could be the cars flying by or the way the light shines through the window and then rotates around. But it's very disorienting.
Kind of freaking horror movie bullshit is this? All right. I'm gonna keep pressing on.
Keep pressing on. There's only 2 doors for you to take. One of them is closed, one is open. The blood smear appears to be leading into the open door.
All right. I'm gonna kind of like pin myself against the wall, and I'm gonna like take a deep breath, and I'm gonna be, ready to aim my guns at anything that's in this room. So I
Take a
look in
deep
the room.
breath. Take a deep breath and center yourself. Interestingly enough, you still do need to breathe. After all, since the accident, your heart, lungs, and brain were kind of the only things that survived. You're not even human anymore, are you? Or maybe you are. Who knows? A question you've been morally conducting with yourself for the past 2 weeks. Nonetheless, what was it that you saw in that room? As a reminder, this is very similar to what happened to you during your accident. You went in gung ho, and what happened? You got, shall we say, a complicated injury. This is bringing flashbacks back to you. It takes a moment of your will to steady yourself. But you are well trained. And you're enhanced now. So, take a deep breath, count to 3,
All right.
turn into the room. You see what looks like a television room with a television entering a static screen. It's the only thing really lighting the room, with a couch and a couple chairs. You see the man you saw earlier sprawled along the couch with his throat completely ripped out. There is blood everywhere.
Oh, Jesus
There is
Christ.
also another back room that looks like a kind of semi-dining room. Other than that, there's no other entries or exits. Also, off to the left, there appears to be a bathroom.
Okay, I'm going to real quick report. With my brain technological stuff, everything I'm seeing, and then I'm gonna proceed. Um, Definitely keeping my back to the wall. Keeping as many like entryways to my line of sight as possible. I'm gonna kind of inch my way to the next doorway. Stealthily. How did I clear this? Oh, I don't like that.
Hold on just a moment, I'm reading something. Okay. You continue on through the room. You notice that even though there's a lot of blood, you can still see some discerns, and you notice there's a couple footprints leading from one of the blood towards the bathroom.
Okay.
Would you roll me another wits plus composure, please, just for that?
Submit. Ooh.
Holy shit.
Totally makes up for my game
So,
yesterday.
you see footprints on the floor, and you take a quick little glance up, and you can see them on the roof, on the ceiling. You can also see handprints here or there. You also notice in the kind of semi-dining room, you notice that there is a cigar that is still lit, resting on one of those ashtrays.
Shit. I thought Spider-Man was supposed to be a good guy. Okay. This is officially escalated from. What is this? Got to be some sort of robot or something?
You hear a sound coming from the bathroom.
Okay. Bathroom. Alright, there's the tactical thing, and then there's the cop thing. Which is also slightly tactical. I'm gonna kind of do that thing the way I entered this room. I'm gonna stealth up to the door, and then I'm gonna. Sorry. I'm gonna stealth up to the door. I'm going to prepare to lunge in again, and possibly apprehend anything if it's within grabbing distance, and or just yeah, I'm just gonna be ready to try to be as ready as I can to deal with whatever I find in here. But also, I'll be right back. For like 1 second. My apologies. I have to feed my brother.
Are you back, or are we still waiting?
I'm back. My apologies. All right.
So, what do you do?
Uh, I'm sorry. What's in this room, or did we do this yet?
You open the bathroom door.
Yep. I kick it open and Oh yeah, I kick that door open.
Kick the door open.
Yep.
You've had a lot of experience as a cop. Seen a lot of bloody things. This
Oh.
bathroom doesn't even begin to cover. The tub is filled with a red substance, which appears to be blood. Actually, black substance, sorry. And you see a woman lying in the tub with both of her arms over the old-fashioned, kind of white marble tub, and her wrists have been slit, and her throat has been not torn out, but it's like something took a chunk out of it. And it is not a very pretty sight.
Oh no. Wait. The handprints on the ceiling. They didn't go. They came out of the bathroom, didn't they? Like, if they were like. Wait. Oh god. Were those handprints leading out of the bathroom?
Nope.
Nope, it's still.
You also notice that you do notice that there is a window with a little bit of light coming through in the bathroom that leads down to a fire escape. However, it is closed.
Shit. I'm gonna immediately call dispatch. We've got a double homicide, some weird shit, and there's a possible runner. And they'll be looking for, I don't know, somebody possibly covered in blood. I don't know.
Shh.
Is that the TV?
Radio static.
How the fuck do I? What? It's even worse because it's in my head. Ugh. Is there any movement from the lady? Like,
She looks well and totally dead.
okay, I'm gonna back out of there and check that other room.
You check the slight dining room. As you turn around the corner, the cigar is gone.
What's left of my heart is fucking racing. Okay, okay, this is not okay.
Hold on a moment.
Back up to the wall. Oh god.
2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Would you roll me a stamina? Well, this would be a strength athletics, actually.
Strength athletics?
Yes.
Oh, I feel bad for this fucker. Does this, no. Okay, and my strength is 8. So, how do I add dice? I think that's how this works, because I have a strength modifier that's like 3 dots worth of extra strength.
Right. You just add your total strength. So, like, you've got this physical enhancement. So, you've got a natural of 5 with the
Right.
physical enhancements. So, that makes 8.
Oh, when I roll,
And
then I go
then-
into the, modifier
And then
thing
it's
in
so it's going to be 8 plus whatever your athletics is.
Okay.
So, like, if your athletics was 2,
Okay.
10 dice total.
So I just roll athletics and then add that modifier plus 8.
Well, it's you're gonna roll that many dice. So what's your athletics at right now?
My athletics is 3.
Right. So you would roll 11 dice.
Okay, how do I tell it to do that?
Slash roll space 11d10.
Oh, manually. Okay.
You can always do it from the sheet, but we'll save some time.
Okay. Slash roll space 11d 10. Hmm.
So we've got 10 exploding to 2, but that's 1, 2, 3, 4, but you got 4 ones.
Yeah.
And I don't remember if ones take away or not.
They don't.
I'll say for now, don't worry about it. But that's still less
That's
than
not-
your
Yeah.
it's still less than your assailant.
Which-
So you turn around and something hits you square in the chest, hard.
Thank gosh,
That's
I don't
right.
really feel anymore.
That's right. They do not take off successes. So you get hit in the chest hard,
Ah, the batteries.
and you go flying through the window that's on the eastern wall. You are now falling about 2 stories.
Ow.
Roll me a stamina athletics, please.
Stamina athletics.
All right. And what is your what's your total armor per se, including the resilience?
That's 1. I have the armor, the reinforced clothings, which is like, I'm not sure how those add up. So it says 2-2
Mm-hmm. So 1, 2.
plus
And
the
then you-
plus the 3 dots in subdermal armor.
Yep. So then you've got 2 there, so that's 4. And then how many dots of resilience do you have?
1.
Okay, so that's 5.
Okay, so
So you take. So after. Perhaps it's a good thing that you had the accident. Sometimes you wonder as you're falling. Time seems to slow. You're falling down towards a dark alleyway with nothing but a little bit of light coming from the upper roof light. And as you're falling, you wonder that perhaps maybe it is a good thing that you had the accident, or this would truly be your last moments, most likely. You hit the fire escape square on as your back arches and almost fold into like a pretzel. As
ow.
you know, like when you see people land on a bar
Yeah.
and their back, you bounce off the bar, hit the other side wall of the other building across the way, and land square on the dumpster, and then bounce off that and hit the ground. And even after all that, you only took a couple bashing damage.
Ow. Does that does that void the warranty? Jeez.
One of your buddies comes running over. Valentine, you all right?
No, something just threw me through a fucking window.
Fuck, and you're okay. Shit. All right. He starts calling his radio. Radio, we need a medvac now. We also need some backup.
There's two deceased in the building, and whoever's in there's still in there. It's a fucking
Right.
bloodbath in there.
Right, we got the building surrounded. He ain't going anywhere.
Yeah, calling SWAT.
As the time passes and you kind of regain yourself a little bit, SWAT shows up. The whole ordeal that you've witnessed hundreds of times in this city happens. It's ruled as a double homicide. However, there's no killer found. out of all the sweeps and searches and for all the technology that is used at this little site, there is no third person found. And the only person they have in custody intact is the one brother who ran away.
How the fuck does somebody get? We had security drones surrounding that bitch. How does... What?
Well, one of your partners is sitting by you as he's getting bandaged up. It looked like he slipped and fell on the stairs. He says, well, I think the better question is to ask, one, what are those goons over there doing? Two, why are they hiding evidence?
Say what?
When the cleanup crew came in, you know those kind of get by the boys in white, the CSI guys over there?
Yeah, the nerds?
Yeah, I was watching carefully. They were... If I didn't know better, I'd say they were purposely grabbing stuff off the scene and hiding it.
That... What?
Yeah, they took one of the pieces of rubble that we found in the back alleyway, and here, check this out. Luckily, I was able to get a little bit of a picture, and he holds out his fancy phone, because this is 2077. The phones are amazing. Holds out a flat screen. It's just like literally a digital projection. And he shows you a little picture, and it shows a slab of stone that fell from one of the side buildings. And it has a massive 5-fingered claw mark going down it. And he says, now I think the real question we should be asking is, what in the hell is strong enough to leave claw marks in solid stone?
Flashback.jpg. Something ain't right adding up here. That... Unless we got some fucking furry synth out here, I don't think... That's the only explanation I've got, because whoever is strong enough to do that also threw me out a window. I'm built better than an F-250 truck, so I don't know.
Well, why don't you go home? Chief's giving us the rest of the night off. I'm just going to fill out the rest of this paperwork and I'm heading out. I need a break.
Same. Wish my bike could still process alcohol.
Hey, cheer up. And hey, don't let some of the other guys around the station bug you. You may be slightly more metal, but I still respect you.
Well, I wish I could say the same numbnuts.
Go home, Valentine. I'll see you in a couple days.
See you in a couple days.
You head back home to your apartment. What resources dots do you have?
3.
So it's a pretty nice apartment, actually. It's your middle class to upper middle class. It's decent. San Francisco. Allow yourself to rest and recuperate after what happened. Took some dings here or there, but your body seems to feel very good. It's better than it did. You notice one thing out of place in your house that catches your eye. Typically in the year 2077, emails and digital messaging and projection is the way to go. That's how you deliver messages to people. Nobody sends letters anymore. Yet, on your mail slot desk, it's like a little tube where mail comes in. There is, in fact, a letter. Normally it's used for packaging and other things, but there is a letter sitting there with a red seal marked. It's a very kind of old, almost it looks like a family crest marked on it. And on the front of the letter is your name.
I look around and see if my fiance's around and ask if he left if, where you got this letter, where this letter came from.
Kind of looks down at the letter and says, "No, it must have just come earlier. I've been kind of out of it all day, huh?"
Oh, okay.
Hey, you don't look so good. Whoa, what the hell happened, hon? You all right? Here, sit down a sec.
Yeah, I just, there was a really bad scene. We were doing like a bust on some, oh my gosh. Like,
He says, "What the heck happened? Were you hit by a car?"
no. Thrown out a window.
Ah, shit. You all right?
Yeah, I should buff out, maybe.
Yeah, he's like pampering you and trying to like make sure everything's okay. He seems very very concerned.
Oh, he's so adorable. But yeah, it was. I swear, I haven't seen a scene that bloody since, then. So yeah, I'm gonna hang out with him for a bit, and then I'll read the letter.
Hang out with your fiance for a bit. Times and the harshness of reality kind of fade away when you're with family and friends.
Ah, yes.
And you remember why this man is your fiance, because even after all the changes and the horrible events that happened to you, he's still there with you when everyone else wasn't. A comforting moment. Harshness.
I swear, I've told all my gal pals, always get a nerd. They'll always stick with you. And they love robots, so it's perfect.
Well, I'm glad I'm one of the lead designers at Modoc Industries then.
Oh shit. Big fish.
Well, I didn't tell you about it, hun, because I didn't really want to. I wanted to keep it more of a surprise, but
Oh my god.
yeah, I got promoted. I got promoted to one of the lead designers over at Modoc.
Oh my gosh. Honey,
Yeah.
I'm so proud for you.
Yeah, it's like freaking hey, we're moving up in the world,
We really are. Who
It's-
knows? I might actually get the. I might actually, not have to use the big cannons anymore.
He gives you a big hug and he kind of sits down as you guys are technically spooning, if you know what I mean. You that whole where like partners will like sit, one will sit like on the other person, both facing one way, and it's like I think it's called spooning, I guess.
Yay.
I can't remember what its technical term for it is, but you're just kind of sitting there resting on the couch, and he's just talking about what he does at Modoc. It sounds like a security firm or a computer programming firm for like basically writing security software and writing like digital like warning displays. Like for example, in the future they don't actually use like don't cross tape. They actually use like shock cross tape bars, which are like a digital display that goes through and it sends micro neuron fibers through each one. So when you try to cross like the don't cross line without permission, it zaps you.
What?
Yeah, and he starts talking about like different how they're doing that and how they're setting up different like fences for like some people who want to go and start building out homes, because there's a brand new project that's opening up in San Fran right now where they're trying to build out in the wilderness, kind of out in the boot, if you will, since the city's expanded, and they've been putting up a lot of like fences so like the wildlife doesn't like and he's been working on one specifically. Apparently he's like, yeah, some rich guy's making a house out there, and he's like, okay, get this, you remember that really old movie Jurassic Park?
Yeah.
Remember those like big fences they had that were like electrified?
Really? He's doing the Jurassic Park fence.
Yes, this client is literally wanting us to build a Jurassic Park fence out there. What I want to know is what in the heck does he think is going to break into his house? We had to order in about, a good 500 pounds of solid titanium steel cable. Titanium is light. Do you know how much 500 pounds of titanium is? It's ridiculous.
I bet I could lift it.
You probably could.
So,
And
do you think he's
what?
actually getting dinosaurs?
if he's genetically growing dinosaurs now, I mean, possible. We've got the technology to do it. But I mean, I doubt it would be on the outskirts of San Francisco. I think it would be somewhere more like a research facility or some government owned organization, not some rich guy who wants to move out of the country. Don't even get me started on our last client. Although at least he was reasonable. What was his name? Yeah, his name was Caden, I think.
Hmm.
Hey, at least he was reasonable. All he wanted was, decent size, metal doors and panic room, which is understandable nowadays, especially after
yeah.
some of the terrorist attacks that happened last week. I'd want one.
Shit, we're still filing paperwork for all that.
Yeah, that's probably for a while now.
It's
But
scary
hey,
out there.
yeah, he gives you a little hug and gives you a little smooch on the head. He kind of hands the letter to you. He's like, "So you gonna open it with me right here, or do you want some privacy?"
Yeah. It looks really stuck up. I mean, who uses wax?
Well, I'll tell you what. I haven't seen a letter in a long time. Like the last letter I actually saw written and sent to someone was 10 years ago, and that was for a ceremony. I don't know what this.
I don't know. It's kind of, romantic. It's, ooh, a piece of paper. That's like someone had to actually go out of their way to write it.
I know
Instead of just
it usually means something when someone sends you something, especially if it's not convenient.
So do you just like rip the wax, or do you like be careful with it?
Typically, you would use this thing called a letter opener to kind of seal under the wax, but I mean, I guess you can open it however you want.
Maybe maybe I should get a letter opener and put it on my finger. Who knows? Anyways, just kind of try my best to open this letter.
All right, so you open it. I mean, you're not so clumsy that you just rip the whole thing to shreds, but you open it. You tear the parchment seal, and you open the letter. And are you reading this in front of your fiance? Just right there.
Yeah, why not? It's a letter. Please
So
don't kill him.
no.
It's an SCP. It just melts his brain.
No, not yet. Anyway, you open the letter and you read it, and it says, "Mrs. Valentine, we," it starts explaining, we are known as Section 9. We are currently a military firm that is opening up here in San Francisco to deal with some of the harsher aspects of it. We are government-funded and independent intelligence organization, and we've seen your previous skills and read a little bit about what happened in the accident, and we would very much like to speak with you about helping keep this city safe. You've done a great service as an officer, and we would like to expand your horizons on keeping the city safe. We have a job offer for you. We would like you to come and meet us at this address tomorrow at this time."
Huh. Looks like we're both going up in the world.
I'll say, look at those numbers, and you look down for some of the stuff that they might be paying you, and it's a lot of digits.
Oh. We could go on. We could actually go on that vacation to Florida that you've been wanting to do.
Yeah, we could.
I could get a spray painted chassis for that summer tan.
He tries so hard not to laugh. But it's like, can't.
You think in tan, or you think in Ferrari red?
He's like, "Hon, you can do whatever you want."
Totally going flames.
You got it then. Oh, so many jokes to make right now. But he's gonna go ahead and yawn. He's like, I'm gonna get ready for bed, hon. I'll see you there. And as he's leaving, he's like, just don't make any jokes about me having to use WD-40 on you.
Oh my gosh.
He's like, what? You knew it was coming, hon.
You know, man, I don't have a good joke for that shit.
He's like, huh? See? Beat you to the punch that time. Now you got nothing.
Ah, whatever. Big goof.
So he goes back to the bedroom, and you're there left with the letter. It seems like yeah, possible job operation. This looks almost like kind of a Blackwater thing, but they are government funded, so seem pretty legit.
Yeah, they seem limit. Actually, I'm gonna even Google them.
You Google Section 9, and ironically, very much like the last group, you don't find a whole lot on them. There was a little bit of Section 9 information that was developed during the year 2050, where Russia split into two factions and entered a massive civil war. But that's all you can really find on Section 9.
Hmm. Weird. Oh, if they're not on the up and up, I'll tell them no. And if they want to stop me, well, good freaking luck.
So, with that, let's transition to another scene.
That was fucking great.
In the realm of success of technology, especially in a liberal liberal city such as San Francisco, the first two technologies, of course, that developed in high rapid succession was the medical field and the gaming field. Virtual reality became a massive hit. And as we can see by this next scene of our two characters playing with one another, to those who are watching who have dirty minds, shut up. We continue to this very intense game of ping pong, which has been going on for 15 minutes, which for a ping pong game is pretty long. I will allow the two characters to take it away if they wish.
So,
Well,
have you thought about how you're gonna name that thing you made?
I didn't make it, I bought it, and can you please just lose already? My head hurts.
If you're expecting me to lose, you got another
It
thing
will.
coming, buddy.
It will happen, just gotta wait long enough. Oh, God.
You're already losing. Just admit that I'm better at you and be done with it.
I'm better at you. Who's the one that's drunk?
I'm way better than at you at many things.
Right,
Keeping the house clean, for example.
but that's your job.
No, it is not. I have a job. My job is not to clean after you. I'm not your mom. Speaking of
clean
which,
shit?
maybe I should call
I
your
make
mom and
shit.
tell on you about all this shit.
Ah, it's fine. Look, I make food and you clean shit. It's
Why
fine.
don't you
It's
get a cleaning
symbiosis.
lady? You make a mess.
Why are you? I already got you. It's cheaper.
This is not my job.
Right. Are you sure you don't want an empanada? Just gotta reach over while you're playing ping pong.
Let's just name the dog.
Oh god. Can you at least lose so we can sit down or something?
Why don't you lose?
Because I have a very imaginary reputation that I'd like to keep up.
Yeah, I have a very fragile ego that I'm going to crush.
Right. Right.
Would both of you roll me dexterity plus athletics? Whoever gets more successes wins the match.
Oh god. uh,
Fuck my life.
wait. The dexterity and athletics.
I'm so tempted to cheat right now and just use my willpower to cheat. Fuck my life.
You are both welcome to spend a willpower on this. If you...
Nope.
Nah.
Just admit it, I'm better at you at this.
Than you, not at you. And fine, I lost, and I sit down now, and my head's killing me. Jesus
Fine.
Christ.
So, what are we gonna name this thing?
I don't know, fucking Fido. Can we name it after Knight Rider? That show from like few
No,
hundred
no,
years
absolutely
ago.
not. That's
Why not?
ridiculous.
Do you even know what the fuck Knight Rider is?
Yes, ancient history is what it is.
It's a talking car. How could
Yeah,
you not
and
love
this
that
is
shit?
an animatronic dog that is supposed to be guarding. Is it supposed to be guarding, or do you have to mess with its programming? You should probably
I
tinker
don't
with it.
know. I think I'm gonna add like canine teeth to its face or something.
It already has
Maybe
teeth.
give it chainsaw on.
Ooh. No, fuck the chainsaw. Have it inject like a paralyzing agent through its teeth. That would be fucking awesome.
Where
You
the
could even patent
where the fuck am I gonna get one of those?
if
I don't know
an
any
intruder
chemists.
comes here and the dog bites him, he's gonna
Yeah,
get
but where the fuck am I
paralyzed.
gonna get the chemicals? I don't know any chemists.
Well, we
I can't make that shit. I don't think so. Maybe I can Google it. I don't know.
seriously, you were going to MIT. You don't know anyone from chemical engineering? Like, didn't you have any friends?
He just kind of starts thinking. I don't fucking know. I think I did. Was there? I think there was the one guy called like Baltrum or some shit that makes I don't fucking remember.
Well, you can look it up. Well, if there's a will, there's a way, you know?
That's too much fucking work.
Stop being a slob.
Christ. Fucking Can we just focus on the name and less about the goddamn chemical agent that can paralyze people?
Okay, so, I'm vetoing the Knight Rider thing.
How can you even do that? It's not like you bought it. That don't make sense.
Yeah, but it's not like you'll be taking care of it if it makes a mess, so...
It's not a real animal. It
Christine.
doesn't poop.
In your arguing with him, you completely almost crushed the controller.
What controller?
VR.
Well, whether you were playing with a virtual ping pong or whether you had like
Oh.
a stick that represented the ping pong,
Mm-hmm.
it's literally destroyed. You just crushed it. And due to a lot of the incidents that happened in the early 2020s, where people were throwing their Wiimotes into televisions, they upgraded the remotes for VR headsets that came in to metal, very durable metal
Mm-hmm.
that you just crush completely.
Damn it.
What the fuck, man? Stop taking so much steroids.
I'm not taking Do I look like I take steroids?
He shrugs.
No, but in the past 2 weeks, you've been certainly looking a lot more like you've been hitting the gym.
Look, I explained it to you. It's an experimental program. It just enhances your physical attributes.
Superhero steroid.
It's not a superhero. I can fly or shoot lasers out of my eyes. How about we call
Right.
him Fido?
But you know yet.
No.
No.
How about Rex? Nah, that's too basic. How about just call him K9? Like with a
Really?
K and a 9.
Are you like super basic?
Well, okay, how about we call him Blue Balls? He's blue.
Should I install some testicles onto the robot's
Oh,
nether
if we're gonna
region?
shoot lasers, sure. Or bullets, whatever.
What?
I don't know if we have access to lasers. I don't think we can.
Why do you keep suggesting adding some shit that is hard to find onto the robot?
Remember when you were a kid and you liked it so much to be challenged? What the hell
What can
happened to you?
This is so fucking weird, man. Anyway,
See, these are the disadvantages you get when your roomie knows you since before your voice dropped, so...
I fucking regret this so much. I don't know why I agreed to this. Damn it.
I
My
don't know
kinda-
why I agreed to this. If I hadn't come
My
here, this place would be a pigsty.
If you haven't come here, this place would be like some majestic metallic jungle.
A pigsty.
Whatever you say. Empanada?
Sure, but you're getting a cleaning lady.
God damn it.
I'm busy. I can't be spending all my free time cleaning up after you, you know.
You don't have to, you can just leave it there.
No, I cannot live in filth.
Goddamn fucking
We'll
clean
have more
freak.
than enough money to afford a cleaning lady or a cleaning robot. Make a cleaning drone, whatever. That's your job. That's what you do.
What I did. Not now, technically.
Well, you can still do. It's not like your knowledge left you.
Fine.
Maybe
fine.
if you stop boozing and partying every fucking day and being hangover all the time, you'd be, more prone to, create things.
Hey, it's just today that my head hurts. Other than that, it's never happened.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. What about you? Or aren't you like doing some weird ass following, stalking people with a camera or some shit?
Being a PI is actually a legitimate job, okay?
Yeah, it's like a paid stalker.
Well, not exactly.
Close enough.
Do you have a
Close
better
enough.
idea of where to use my specific skills?
I don't fucking know.
Well, then why don't you shut it? It's a fine job. Gets paid, the bills paid.
Or you could just do it like me and win the lottery every few months.
You know that this is not a thing that I can do. And by the way, if you keep doing that, the IRS is gonna be on your ass so far up. Like,
What?
you gotta be more careful.
like
I
I'm
don't understand.
cheating.
Well, of course you're cheating. How else would you be winning so often?
I don't know, it just happens. I just buy a lottery ticket and out of nowhere I win
Look,
a million.
Okay,
You
I
know,
know you
it
don't
just
want to
happens.
admit it to me, but don't bullshit me, okay? I know that you're
I'm,
cheating.
I'm not, How am I cheating? What do you
I don't
think I
know.
hack into the
Yes,
thing and like change
probably.
my gun?
Yes, probably. That's exactly what you're doing.
That's like super illegal, dude, and I'm not gonna get fucking arrested for doing such a minor thing. Look, I have standards, and
Mhm.
I am clearly just very lucky.
I just don't believe you.
You don't believe me, doesn't matter. The fact remains I don't cheat. Never did, never will. It's all
Well, okay. In any case, I would suggest that you stop playing the lottery because sooner or later this luck of yours will either run out or people will be after you because that's not normal.
right, right. Maybe next year?
You have more than enough money, more than you need for your life. You're not even using them correctly. Like, at least invest in something. What happened
Like
to
what?
you?
That's the fucking no. Oh, my fucking head hurts.
Just make something.
Ooh.
Make a cleaning robot.
Right,
That's a
right,
commission.
right. Are you paying for it?
No, your lottery money will pay for it. I've paid in
What a
advance.
waste. What a waste.
At this moment, sir, ma'am, you are receiving a letter through your inbox right now.
The pneumatic tube?
Yes, do you wish to receive it?
Shoop! Oh, what now? I'm gonna get up and go see what the fuss is about. Huh. Hey Ruben, check this out. We either got
What?
invited to a fucking fancy masquerade ball or something, or a secret society. Check this shit out. It even has a seal. It's on paper.
Ruben is gonna pull out his phone and take a picture of it. Like with a seal in front. Oh, cool. It's
Damn,
like super,
I don't want to open
looks
that. It looks so pretty.
Can I try opening it without destroying the seal?
Yeah, that's what I want to
If
do.
that's
Uh,
possible.
Roll me dexterity. Actually, what the hell of it? Roll me a dexterity composure.
Okay, I'm gonna do the same.
Okay, if you're gonna do it before you roll any. Oh, for fuck's sake. Fine. Well, you got 6 successes. Good enough.
Well,
So-
that's mine, not yours.
So you take the letter opener, you twirl it, you do a flip with it, you twirl it around your back, you drop it, it lands on its side, face up. You then catch it again, twirl it again, and then snip the little wax seal off, and you don't even so much as phase. And it opens up.
I need to put this somewhere safe. So pretty.
What the fuck's inside?
It's
a letter. Addressed to both.
Okay. Huh. What does it say?
Talks about an organization called Section 9 being interested in both of you. Looking for people with certain skill sets to help San Francisco out in its research and defense. Also, they're looking for investigators, etc., people to kind of help start building up Section 9, so to speak. And then you look down below, and it starts giving you numbers of stuff they could possibly pay you, and they are high.
I think this is a scam.
I think this looks a bit too good to be true. Okay,
It's a
we have a
scam.
job to do, alright? I take the web, you take the dark web. Let's see what we
It's
can
a
find with these
scam.
fuckers.
It's a scam. We don't need to.
Both of you roll me an intelligence plus computers.
Oh my god!
Wow. I'm so lucky.
Do you want to use luck?
I can't say anymore because I already rolled for it. God damn it. Ugh. Bah.
You can use the willpower though.
What does willpower do in this system again?
Three dice.
Oh, 3 extra dice?
Just roll three
Ah.
dice.
Ah, fuck it. It's one success. It's good enough.
Alright. So,
Probably isn't, but oh well.
well, Ruben, you don't find shit. Mostly just them in name. But Cassandra, you find that they were an organization that seemed to have formed up back in the year 2050 when Russia split into two factions and started a massive civil war. They were a government organization designed very similar to Blackwater, but with intention to kind of secure the war and not allow it to spread too far. They were kind of America's negotiator, if you will. And that's all you can find on them.
Alright, so the name exists. It was like a Peace Corps back in the day when the Russian Civil War happened. Seems legit, but I don't find any information if this continued. Huh. I think we should check it out, just in case, you never know.
I, as in singular.
You need to work. You're turning into a slug.
Okay. Right, Mom. Whatever you say, Mom.
Well, speaking of mom, what do you tell your real mom when she calls you? That everything's fine and you're being productive or anything, or you're lying your ass out?
And I just tell her everything's fine. I keep getting good checks, and you're here being a good old sister and stuff, and
Look, dude,
it
everything's
works out.
not fine, okay?
What do you mean? I keep making millions once a month.
By being a couch
Good enough.
potato and doing nothing. No, it's not good enough. You're not being productive. Get your ass up. We're gonna go check this
What?
out.
Like, God damn it.
And get an aspirin. Or something.
As you two depart, we will go ahead and transition scenes to Mr. Caden. Go ahead and give me, once again, Lucas, a little description of what Mr. Caden is doing at the moment. I believe you are at the mansion.
Yes. He's either meditating or training.
One of the largest estates on the somewhat outskirts of San Francisco. Although it will eventually be dwarfed by a new estate that is developing out on the outskirts. For now, this house is the largest out on San Francisco wealthy property. A massive manor. You are currently in the training room right now on a, let's say, just for theatrical purposes, let's go ahead and say it's one of those Wing Chun training dummy things with like all the arms, and you're doing the practice punches on it.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going through, and your butler is pulling these levers, which are having the arms kind of swing at you from different angles. So you have to duck, stand up, block, and do all these sorts of things. And you are timing yourself to see just how fast you can get. Past 2 weeks have been pretty easy for you. Your strength and speed have gone up substantially. But that's due to your training, right? Anywho, the rain continues to patter on the outside of the massive frame windows near your training room, and eventually your routine ends. You are done with your current exercise. Well done, Master Caden.
Thank you, Cassius.
I have to say, these past 2 weeks have been quite an improvement based on your last time. You beat your original record by 2 minutes.
Well, 2 minutes is not enough. I've got to be better.
Well then, sir, I'll look forward to the next session. Shall I go ahead and make you something to eat? You haven't eaten in the past 3 hours.
I would like to hear the news first. Has anything interesting happened at the company?
At our company, nothing more, although Modoc Industries does seem to be expanding. However, they're not encroaching on any of your finances, my good sir. They are currently dedicating themselves to security protocols. There's that new construction being started out not too far from where we are out there on the eastern side. If I didn't know better, I'd say the man was building a fortress.
Well, don't we live in a fortress?
Other than that, the only other news that really popped up was there was a terrorist attack a couple weeks ago on one of the primary bank office buildings, but it wasn't one of ours, so we lost no funds. But it was kind of a shocker to the public. A lot of people are a bit distraught about it. There is some anger growing towards synths and robotics, saying that they are taking all of our jobs, and I quote. But this is something that San Francisco has gone through before.
Well, something we all have got to get used to, I suppose. Well, not it makes that much of a difference for us, but still, people have to get used to it.
Indeed. Are you going out on another one of your expeditions tonight, Master, or are you actually going to stay in and eat this time?
Perhaps I should eat tonight.
Indeed. I'll fetch the supper, Master. Oh, by the way,
Yes.
something very strange came for you today. A letter, of all things.
A
It has a
letter.
rather fancy family crest seal on it as well. It's one I don't recognize. He hands you a very nice parchment paper of letter envelope with your name on the front. I took the
How
liberty
rare.
of I took the liberty of scanning it earlier. There are no poisons, pheromones, or any other things. It seems to be a legitimate letter.
How rare is it for me to receive letters?
Typically, letters, like I said, it's the year 2077. Letters are just not that common much anymore, since everything is just so digital. I mean, you can literally put a panel on your door, and it's a computer, and you can just receive emails like at your door. So it's like seeing letters is not very common.
Right. I'm going to put the lenses before opening the letter.
Look at it.
And I'm
you
going
don't-
to ask Cassius to stay near me while I open it.
He does, and you don't see anything suspicious, and you open the letter. It says, Caden Ellison. We have noticed some of your particular skills, and you are a man of business and action towards the city of San Francisco. The city of San Francisco is currently facing a bit of a crisis, and we at Section 9 are currently trying to develop a better, shall we say, research and defense for San Francisco. We were wondering if you were interested in taking your skills to the next level. We know about your past military experience, and we are also a previous military organization, and now military funded and independent intelligence agency. We are wondering if we could have you perhaps work for us. Granted, we can't offer you any sort of cash deal that you have that is not already solvent enough, knowing your previous expertise, but we know that you're a man who likes a challenge. We know that you're a man who does wish to progress the city forward. Perhaps you would like to come and speak with us. Meet at this address at this time. And we will perhaps enter into a further business venture in the future. We hope to see you there.
Cassius, do you know anything of this Section 9?
I did this. Well, off the top of my head, sir, no.
Perhaps we should make some research on that. Haven't
Indeed.
heard of them before.
And if you guys do the research, you'll find what everyone else has found.
Do you think I should go there?
I think it would be definitely an interesting venture, sir, since we are kind of just two men at the moment, and having more resources and more backing to fit your needs, master, would be good. Since your little escapades, certainly, while
Yeah,
effective,
except this one.
could be more effective. I do not mean any offense.
I understand. And by the way, has any terrorist cell claimed the attack on the bank?
No cells have claimed it yet, although we may have some suspicion that it's a particular cult of rejected replicants.
Hmm.
Probably ex-combat models.
Could you try to get some information on them while I go meet with this Section 9?
Of course.
I guess no time for dinner then.
That's up to you. If you want to go do your escapade or if you want to eat and wait till tomorrow, that's up to you. I'll go ahead and let the scene kind of fade. And let me switch music here. The next day arrives and it is both rainy and foggy. Common weather for San Francisco. After all, remember, San Francisco only has three types of weather: sunny, foggy, or rainy, or all three at the same time, or a variant. All of these characters have received their own invitations to this supposed section 1. When you arrive, section 9 is on the outskirts of San Francisco. It looks like an office building on one of the main wealthy drives. As you walk in, a very polite and well-dressed secretary greets you with a little headset and a little microphone coming out. and she directs you to room 3. It's a waiting room, it seems. The walls and hallways of this area are spotless. They are white, almost reflective. It's a very futuristic looking design. Even the waiting room itself, with its fairly almost picnic sized benches and waiting chairs, is spotless. Completely shiny and all white. No other colors. You all start to arrive at your own time. And you all are in a waiting room with other characters around you that are there. And while I go as the ST take a bathroom break, the 4 characters that are in the room may discuss stuff with each other, in character if you wish. You see each other enter at your own times, and now you are currently in a waiting room, apparently all awaiting the same thing. I'll let all 4 characters take it away as I go take a break.
Ruben will pull out a flask from his messenger bag and take a sip out of it, and then he will offer it to Cassandra.
Yeah,
Chocolate
still take
milk.
a sip. Better be wrong.
It's chocolate milk.
Oh, for
It's chocolate
fuck's
milk.
sake.
Oh, classy.
I'm
I'm going
I'm
to-
gonna look at Ruben. I'm like, really, dude? Chocolate milk?
It's chocolate. What the fuck do you think I've been drinking this early in the morning? What am I, an alcoholic?
I'm just with my eyes closed and my hands together, thinking. Like meditating for a while.
Many people here for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So, we all definitely got the weird letter, right?
I guess.
Yeah.
Wait,
Huh.
I still think it's a scam.
It's
Do
a
you think it's a
possibility.
scam, robot person?
Can you be
Say
more
what?
polite?
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, ma'am.
What is your name? I am Ruben. He offers his hand for a shake.
I just shake your hand. Hi, Valentine.
Valentine, I'm Ruben. This is Cassandra. You can call her Cassie. She can be a bitch,
No,
but
you
she's a very lovely
cannot.
person.
It's Cassandra Fletcher. Nice meeting you.
Oh, nice to meet you. Actually, that's really funny. My first name is my first name is. I actually write down again.
Hmm.
It's Christine.
It's so weird when you
Well-
say your name.
He's just gonna look at the guy, just closes his eyes, and he looks back at you. So, totally a scam, right? Right?
We don't know. That's what we're here to find out.
I mean, they have some balls if they do. I mean,
Mm.
I'm with the. I'm with the force, so you know. They sought me out because I'm a cop. So if this is a scam, they really got some balls.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you're a cop. Oh,
I'm a PI.
Oh, with which firm?
It's strange, but the building seems quite legit, though. I mean, it's quite a facility for a scam company, don't you think?
They wouldn't try to scam me.
I
What?
mean, they
Right.
You ever heard of the Ellison Enterprises?
Out of
Ah.
character. How big is this enterprise and what are they known for?
Well, probably technology, because
Uh,
they have
yeah.
5 button resources.
Yeah, I've heard
Oh,
of it.
yes.
I
Yeah,
don't
that's
know if
mine.
that's what. I forget which tech company my husband works for. Shit.
It's fine. It's fine.
I might know. I'll definitely know. And if I don't, I can Google it and pretend because I don't because it's in my head.
Is it
Yeah,
the husband or
um,
fiance? I'm confused now. or do you have a husband and a fiance?
Fiance.
Okay.
Okay, you said you owned it, and you might be. Oh crap! I'm sorry, I'm forgetting your name now. Fuck.
Which one?
He's talking to the rich guy because he said that he owned the company. So, this is in character, by the way. In my character, legit forgot his name.
I am Caden Ellison.
Right, rich dude. Right.
I'm gonna do a quick Google search to make sure you're not bullshitting, which I know you're not. So it is gonna come up as, yeah, you are the actual, what the hell, owner of this company.
Strange. What interest would someone such as yourself have in a job like this? Or are you here as an affiliate?
No, I guess I know as much as you do about all this.
Gonna click on a possibly reputable business business insider thing mentioning how, like, your weird hobbies, I guess, because Google.
Anyone want some chocolate milk? He offers the flask.
No thanks.
Fry my
Awesome.
circuits.
You know, you shouldn't be putting
Right.
milk in a flask. It's not easy to clean out and sanitize. You know how much bacteria grows in milk?
It's fine. I'll just throw it away and buy a new one if it goes bad.
You're very wasteful.
Or I could turn this into the testicles we were talking about.
Can we not? Can we not talk about this in public among people? We're here to apply for a job.
Which I still think is a scam.
Well, still, you want to be taken seriously, right? Or I want to be taken seriously. You're not helping.
Oh, just don't associate with me. It'll be fine. Thumbs up.
What a tragedy to be born without testicles.
Yes, it is indeed a tragedy. I am very sad that I did not grow any testicles. That's why I'm planning on building my own testicles using this majestic little flask here.
I'm gonna
That is
elbow
nothing but
him
milk.
in the ribs.
Oh, what the I mean, yeah.
We have an animatronic dog, and we're thinking of installing anatomical
Relatable.
parts on it.
Have you people heard of the terrorist attack on the bank?
To
Have
answer
we?
to answer the question, yeah, to answer the question, everyone would have seen that in their.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we have.
Yeah, we've been filing paperwork for that for weeks.
My condolences.
Do you think
It
that,
wasn't mine.
do you think that this meeting here has something to do with it?
And in all honesty, all of you kind of look at each other and you can come to that conclusion pretty quickly that this definitely may have something to do with it. Eventually, the door opens, and you see a very well-dressed woman in a kind of woman's tux, I guess. You know, like those, like a woman's,
Pantsuit.
office. Yeah, yeah, with a very professional long skirt, heels, but not like the sharp heels, like heels you can actually walk in, and glasses, and her hair kind of rolled up into a bun. If Creed is watching this, he knows who this is. She sits down at one of the tables and she says, "Oh, can I get any of you anything to drink? Coffee, food?"
A cup of tea would be nice, I suppose.
Water.
I would like some chocolate milk.
So chocolate milk, water, tea, anything
I'll
for you,
also have a
Valentine?
I'll also have a water.
Thank you very much.
Ironically, Valentine, your internal organs still function. So, However, you don't have to worry about waste product. So she brings you everything you request, and you see like little drones kind of come out of the wall with like what you guys request as she pushes a button,
Oh,
and then as the walls open up, they just kind of fold back in.
wow, that's. Is this where our taxpayers' money went?
Certainly some of it, Mr. Valentine.
Well, then does that mean that this is a government backed? What's
Yes,
the
we
word
are a
I'm looking
government
for?
funded. Yes, we are a government funded facility and independent intelligence. You can just call me Mrs. X.
Okay.
Hmm.
I work for Section 9, and I have to say I've been reading a lot of your files and reports, and we think that you are all very fit for this job. But I have to be honest with you now. The letters were not entirely forthcoming.
Yeah, we figured as much. There's not enough information in there.
How surprising.
Not to
The
mention that there's not enough info on your uh, organization for the past 20 years.
We like to keep ourselves hidden for good reason. After reading a lot of your profiles, tell me, have any of you experienced unusual things these past few weeks? Things you can't explain? Seeing things, hearing things that are
I've been
off-putting?
You have
I've been
to.
experiencing that all my life.
Robot eyes dilate. And what are you exactly referring to? Out of curiosity, of course.
Yeah, you need to be a bit more specific.
Just a moment. Um, well, let's just say that after reading your reports and after keeping watch on you for some time, we are well aware of some of the incidents that some of you have reported and others of you have not. You've seen things that can't or shouldn't exist. I think Miss Valentine, out of everyone in this room, knows that more than anyone. Isn't that right, Miss Valentine? After all, who would refile and she checks her little digital clipboard and she's like, what person in their right mind would ever file attacked by, and I quote, werewolf?
That was delusional. It happened too quickly. Of course I couldn't have. Wait. What? I mean,
It says on the report.
look, it was a confusing time. What are you trying to say?
Well, there are very few things that can rip a person to shreds like that. What do you think it was? Just some axe-wielding psychopath? A street samurai with blades or knives or
A
something?
machine.
Maybe a butcher chainsaw? Not claw marks like that, Miss Fallon.
Could be a machine.
Certainly. Possibly. There are some death machines, however, very few of them are in the city. And the government keeps very good tabs on those.
You had
And
my
even
interest,
then-
now you have my attention.
And even then, when a death machine comes after you, you're going to see it.
So what exactly are you suggesting that it was?
Are you
I mean,
actually saying a werewolf? Like, that's That's
But
fantasy.
when you
That's
see it, it could be a machine using stealth technology. We have that kind of thing. It's possible that the government couldn't keep track of everything. To
I mean,
suggest
How do
a
you- and-
werewolf, it's...
I mean, it did tear through. I mean,
Does
but
sound
that's not po-
preposterous.
that has to be. I mean, look. No. Are you?
Miss Fletcher, then how do you
Shitting me?
how do you explain your incident then?
My what?
Your incident.
Well, I can't explain my incident because it can't.
Have you been
Called-
hitting the gym recently, Miss Fletcher? And she looks over to Ruben, and she's like, Ruben, has she ever once gone to the gym in the past 2 weeks?
Well, he kind of looks at her. I don't think so.
No, I have been involved in a experimental project.
Experimental project. Yes, that. Well, that
I didn't hear what you said last.
that's us, Miss Fletcher.
Well, that is interesting indeed, because I didn't have knowledge of that, even though there is an NDA in place, but the details are really fuzzy about.
Miss Fletcher, you were in critical condition. We didn't have much of a choice. The serum was the last thing we could get to you. Do you not remember any of it?
No, I did not. Can I, try to remember?
You remember a really big pain in your head, like something struck you. But it's so hazy and fuzzy, it's almost impossible to remember.
I do have
But you can
eidetic
definitely
memory.
feel you do, and it's like you see the picture of like your assailant, like the guy in the mask, and it's like he's there, he's not there. You remember every speck, every sound, every smell, and then you feel the pain, and then you're black, and then you wake up in the house, same place. You didn't go to the hospital or anything, and you're looking around. You remember all the sights, the smell, the pain. No one there. It's just this big black bar, like you're watching a VHS tape that just skips to a
Okay.
scene.
Well, I do have a time frame that I can't account for.
You were in an accident?
Not exactly an accident. More like an assault, I'd say. But I'm
Indeed.
fuzzy on the details, and I have a
Well,
timestamp that it's, just not there.
we decided to brush along the hospital bill since we helped afford the serum, but it says in the autopsy report or in the report that you took such major damage to the head that it didn't look like you were going to make it. So we injected the serum into you and just waited to see if it worked. And sure enough, it did.
Ruben is making like a very worried face with his jaw agape.
Do you have my medical files?
We do.
I would like to see them.
He hands you the medical files.
Questioning the legality
I'm
of all
gonna
this.
go through them. Yeah, I'm questioning the legality of this as well. Yeah.
But I'm also too intrigued.
Here's what's weird. And for those of you out of character who have played vampire and know about their influences, this is pretty typical. However, you don't find any flaws in your history, Miss Fletcher. Everything seems to be by the book. If they tampered with you in any way, they did it through the hospital as part of a treatment, in quotes, that was designed to try and help. Typically, when a person is injured to a point where a new experimental treatment needs to be applied, typically members of the family or friends must sign for it. However, sometimes in dire needs, especially if a person is dying right there on the spot, this can be waived. In your case, it was. So if they did anything to you, it was through the hospital disguised as the procedure.
And what were the nature of the injuries that I had suffered?
Lacerations to the head, loss of blood, and apparently apparently the whole right side of your skull was almost caved in.
How
Relatable.
could all this damage be fixed just with a serum?
Technology is soaring, Miss Fletcher. And we have access to some technologies that were forgotten during the last war.
How come her family wasn't notified of what had happened to her when it had happened?
Oh, her family was notified. She shrugs. She says, I have the phone records right here, Miss Fletcher. We notified all of your family. Did no one call you and question? Odd.
I was
Very odd.
not aware.
Yes, all of your family members were contacted and even compensated. You actually had your family members received life insurance due to the fact that the procedure was experimental and there was no telling whether you'd come out of it alive or dead. So your family received all of your life insurance as well and even got to keep it when you came out and were fine.
I think I need to have
Huh?
a chat with my family.
Perhaps.
So you bribed them, basically.
We didn't bribe anyone. We just followed the rules.
Hmm.
Like from a cop perspective, how illegal is all of this, or have they managed to skim the legality?
Oh, we're perfectly legal, Miss Valentine. It's our other activities that are somewhat inconspicuous, shall we say. However, the government has given us permission to do what we do. And if those at the top say it is legal, it is legal.
So what you're saying is basically this Section 9 thing is some weird Black Ops shit.
Basically, one could call us that.
And probably above the law.
I wouldn't call us above the law. I would call us people willing to do what it takes to get shit done.
Tomato, tomato.
Correct.
That's.
Well,
Are you telling me you're running some freaking werewolf Men in Black shit?
In a manner of speaking, one could call us that as well.
so what are you saying is that I was assaulted by a werewolf?
Not a werewolf, Miss Fletcher, a vampire.
A vampire?
Yes.
Is there any actual evidence about the existence of either of those?
She looks over at the mirror that's behind you guys. It's like a two-way mirror, kind of like the cop interrogation room kind of thing looking.
Mm-hmm.
At least most of you suspected that. However, it starts to raise up. And as it raises up, you can see a man in a chair. He's a colored man, bald. The room looks somewhat scorched, almost like it's been like it was hit with a fire or something earlier. And there's a man sitting in a chair. He's wearing a very nice business suit. And he is chained up with a massive amount of chains. And as the mirror lifts, his eyes look up and they're just bloodshot red. And he looks at all of you and he snarls, and these 3-inch fangs protrude from his mouth. And he dashes forward to all of you and just pulls against the chains and just kind of gets gridlocked in place because there's so many.
What
And
the
he just
hell?
starts snarling.
Considering that he is wearing a business suit, is there any chance that I might know who he is?
Roll me a intelligence plus composure.
Do I see any robotic avians of any nature?
Not on this guy, no.
Okay, nice.
3.
Caden, you think you saw this guy? You think he might be a teller at one of the midnight clubs you've visited to do your excavation to find criminals, shall I say? And I think he was one of the guys you talked with at one of the not strip joints, but like go-go club dance that you went to kind of gather information for one of your escapades. He was one of the guys who worked behind one of the counters.
So he works in a nightclub, anyway.
Yes, this man worked in a nightclub and was helping lead people into the back rooms. Poor people thought they would get a professional dance. Instead, they just wound up losing all their blood.
What kind of drugs have you pumped into his system to make him go like that?
We've pumped no drugs into his system. That's how he is. That's how their kind are.
Valentine kind of walks up to the glass. It's a real good look at him.
Yeah, he is frenzied, and he is trying to get out of the chains as best he can, but he cannot.
Thinking back to all the shit I've seen, the
This can't be their normal state. They wouldn't be able to function.
It's not
in
their
society.
normal state. This one has suffered from a drastic amount of blood loss since we've not been feeding. He has gone into a bit of a ravaged feral. Typically, when they are well fed, they look like you or me and just blend into society very well, especially with synthetics and prosthetics the way they are nowadays.
You wouldn't happen to... Wait. You wouldn't happen to have any people working inside the forensics, would you?
She just kind of looks at you with that look of, what do you think?
That was... Really?
Honestly, if what you're saying is true, there's probably evidence that this guy has done some wrongdoing for you to justify, pretty much torture.
Indeed, we have it on live video feed of him raping and killing a poor woman in the alleyway, just behind that 7-Eleven down on 3rd Street. Poor woman. She didn't even have to go to 7-Eleven that night. She was working on her day off. Her and her kid were planning a trip to Disneyland. That's why she was working the extra hours.
I don't know why the appeal to emotion was necessary. I just requested evidence.
And I gave you evidence with extra.
Snap.
I would like to keep the extras out of it from now on, if that's okay with you.
How many of these
So-
things are there?
We don't know, but we imagine there's many. They can blend in very well.
You know, I'm really curious with you being awfully trusting of all of us, considering none of us have yet to agree that we will keep any of this a secret, nor we will work for you. So I'm gonna assume there's a safety net for you if we were to say no.
Well, Mr. Rubin, what on earth would you go out and tell people? That vampires and werewolves are real? That there's a secret government organization keeping it all under wraps? Oh, you mean the plot to every supernatural movie ever?
Hmm.
mean, as far as I'm concerned, maybe the conspiracies are actually planted by them, just as a smokescreen.
Perhaps that could very well be. That could very well be true, Miss Fletcher.
I went to therapy for 5 months after the incident.
Yes, I read about some of your reports.
By the way, I want to do something. I want to do a check on her to see if she's being honest with what she's saying.
Yeah, you're able to see it with your reading. Most of what she's saying is honest. Yes.
Okay.
There's the occasional like quip, but it's not like full on dishonesty. It's like not telling you everything. So in other words, she's not flat out lying to you. And a lot of the stuff she's saying is pretty straightforward and to the point, but she's being very clever in how she does it. So she's not flat out lying to you, she's just not telling you everything. That much is known. But that's to be expected from the situation itself.
Okay, so I'm gonna one up it. I'm like, okay, Mrs. X, so what aren't you telling us?
Well, I'm not telling you that the man in the room is going to die today. His final death.
Is there a non-final death?
Well, what he is now. Undead, so to speak.
Well, okay, you have called all of us here, you have told us all this, but I still don't get why you did all this. Do you have anything to ask of us?
Merely that you work for us and help make sort of a hunting team. Hunting and research team, so to speak. You could almost consider us the Bureau for Paranormal Research and Defense for San Francisco.
So what you want us to do is find you supernatural beings and bring them into you? Hunt them down?
Or kill them, yes.
How would we be able to do that? From what
This
you
is the year
described,
This is the year 2077, Miss Fletcher. We have permissions. We can get away with some things that most others can't.
it's
Even and she looks over to Valentine before you speak, and she's like, even for those of us who are involved in the law, we have the ability to do things that need to be done.
it's not a matter of permissions. It's a matter of how. You already described what happened to Miss Valentine here, with a werewolf throwing her out of a window, if I'm not mistaken. Is that what you said?
No, that was
Eh.
never stated.
Oh, it wasn't.
No, she was torn to shreds.
Oh,
He says, well, we're going to give you training. We're going to give you supplies if you're willing to pay. And we also have, well, the serum comes with other benefits, Miss Fletcher. No one in this room is normal. No one in our other room was normal either. We don't hire normal people for our hunting teams. And I don't mean to sound offensive when I say that.
okay. I can see what might be not normal with us ladies, but I don't know about.
I'm a perfectly normal robot, thank you.
Miss Valentine is now strong enough to turn a car into a soda can if she wished. Miss
Well-
Fletcher is not too far behind. Mr. Rubin here has something living inside him. And Mr. Caden over here likes to do midnight escapades, don't you?
Wait, what?
Are you saying
It
that,
is.
that Ruben has a parasite inside him, and
Wait, what?
or something?
What?
In a manner of speaking,
Are you saying that
Yes.
the rich guy is Batman?
The fuck is Batman?
Don't you?
Uh,
She kind of looks over at Fletcher and she's like, "Are you serious? He hasn't seen Batman yet?"
I don't know. He knows Knight Rider, but he doesn't know Batman. What the hell, Ruben?
Well,
What?
Batman is just a more. Think of it this way, Ruben. Batman is just a more badass Knight Rider.
Neat, I suppose. God damn. Why the fuck do I have a...
You know what? I look at Mr. X and say, I'm in.
How exactly do you know that there is indeed, in fact, a thing living inside of me?
She looks over at Valentine first and she nods and she says, "Pleasure to have you aboard." And she walks over to Ruben and she hands you basically a much fancier version of the PKE meter from Ghostbusters.
Uh-huh.
And it reads electromagnetic signals. And she literally points it square at your chest where there's no implants whatsoever, and it's going like zzz, zzz, it's like going off.
What the fuck?
I think we should get you for a CT scan.
CT scan won't show much. Most of the ghosts and spirits that fly around tend to not,
Are you saying that Ruben is possessed?
in a manner of speaking, yes.
What the hell,
What?
Flynn?
What the fuck? How... how
There was
long
an
have we...
there was an experiment that was done during the Civil War in Russia developing human psionics. We learned a lot from that report. Ghosts, vampires, werewolves, probably other things out in
Okay,
the dark
but
too.
how did the ghost get inside of him?
That
Also,
we
like
don't
gross
know.
ass milk.
That we do not know. Christine, roll me a wits empathy, please.
Oh god.
Before you roll this, do you feel... does it feel like she's lucky? Basically, lucky means she has 8 or more dice. Unlucky, 3 or lower.
I have
Just
7.
tell me if you're lucky or not.
I have 7.
So basically, you feel normal. Okay, I'm not gonna do shit. You know what? Since I might not be able to fucking do any of my powers, fuck it, why not? I'm gonna spend the willpower and give you some luck.
And what
Hey,
Make the
does
luck
Christine.
flow. You get 3 extra dice for rolling shit.
Ooh, nice.
Just for that one thing that you're trying to roll right now.
Okay. 4.
Very good. That very last thing she just said,
That she doesn't know about the ghost how it got in him.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She lied.
Should you hit him with a Bible or something?
I'm going to look at her square in the eye.
Who, me?
No, the Mrs. X.
Ah. Yes, my eyes are square.
If there is information to be found about Ruben's situation, I will find out. Do you think
Of
there might
course.
be a possibility that I may find out that you knew something and you didn't tell us?
Perhaps. And she touches a little. You're the only one that notices Fletcher because you're looking right at her. But she makes a little movement. She goes and it's almost like she pushes a button on the bottom of her watch. And what is your composure right now?
3.
Okay. And do you have any supernatural resistances?
I have Indomitable.
Ooh.
Okay, so roll me 4 dice, please.
So I'm pretty much rolling composure. Or what? Or just flat 4?
Flat 4.
Alright. 2. for fuck's sake.
Miss Fletcher, you are now charmed. And that's it. You
I think I should
feel
have gotten
you
5 though, not 4.
go ahead and roll another
Because it's
dice.
plus 2.
Wait.
The Indomitable, it's not plus 1. Oh well.
Bum, bum, bum.
So, Miss Fletcher, you now have the charm condition toward this one.
Hmm.
So, right after you're done saying that, you feel, this she's nice, and I want to do things for her.
Am I aware of this?
Nope.
Okay.
You just suddenly decide you like her.
Well, in that case, I'm gonna back off.
Back off. And she says, well, Miss Valentine, I'll get you your gear. I would like to ask, do I have the condition of all of you that you'll work for us? After all, if for those of you who have conditions that you wish to fix, we can always help with that as well.
If I were to agree to this, will I know more or find out more about this thing living inside of
Oh, certainly.
me? Then I
I need-
begrudgingly agree.
Fair enough.
I need some guarantees, though.
What guarantees do you need, Mr. Cade?
I need to know that my company will not suffer because of this. Neither will
I
my
I assure you, Mr. Caden, we can get that in writing and signed contract if you want. We want nothing to do with your company.
No, I know you don't, but it seems like we're messing with stuff way bigger than us here.
Of course, you want to cover your tracks and ass, so to speak. I understand.
Yes.
I'll have the paperwork written up. Yes.
I want my home to be safe as well.
Of course.
If that is all agreed,
And-
after we
We can
Yeah,
even
after I
provide
signed it.
we can even
Yeah.
provide extra security for your home.
how?
Well, we have advanced software and technology. We can provide you even higher upgrades than what you have right now.
I think I'll take it.
Excellent.
I guess. Yes, I'm in. When the contract is here.
Are there protections for family members?
Yes. I assure you, we will all. When you work for us, you'll be under our protection. The only thing we can't protect you from is the supernatural. That you'll have to do on your own. But we will supply you with everything you need to
Under
do that.
protection, I understand. Will we also be under surveillance?
Only if you wish to be, like Mr. Caden here.
No, I would rather to opt out from that.
Of course. Granted, we will be doing surveillance, so if we, happen to be watching a camera or see you appear or do something on that, we'll be sure to erase the footage.
Fair enough.
We have eyes and ears everywhere, so if we see you doing something, it's not because we're spying on you, it's because, we
I
just
was more
happen to be
talking
watching.
along the lines of watching my personal lodgings. What you
No,
do
we
in the
won't
city
be.
is
We
your
won't be
own
doing
thing.
that. We won't be looking into your personal lives.
Very well then.
Believe me, I used to be surveillance for CIA. I've seen enough of that.
So, when are we expected to start with the training?
Oh, tomorrow. She starts getting all the paperwork down, and this is where things kind of get even weirder. This facility has a lot of different levels underground, and it comes complete with a shooting range, an armory, a swimming pool, a gym, and a lounge area with like gaming and videos and.
Huh.
They also give you a duffel bag full of just standard, like, you know, clothing and whatnot, and typical burner phones that for 2077 look archaic but still work pretty well, and a couple, just uniform shirts. Then they say, "Welcome to the company." After you guys get all the paperwork signed up, they say your training will start the next day.
All right.
Oh, and as for that man, she presses a button on her watch, and you guys look in past the room to the snarling, frenzied vampire, and you see two flamethrowers come out of the wall. And need I say more?
Oof.
Was that really necessary?
When they go into a state like this, they cannot come out of it.
No, I mean, was that really necessary for us to watch it?
She shrugs and she says, "Oh, I forgot to ask. Sorry."
Was that a threat?
Nonsense. No.
Well,
She just kind of smiles at you, Cade, and like, no,
Huh.
it was a promise.
oof. So,
Shut down.
Jesus. I mean, yeah. It's like you shot that man down, son.
She says, "Well, you may all go about your business, and we'll see you tomorrow. Welcome to Section 9. Let's try and make this world a better place, shall we? Now, if you'll excuse me, I do have an appointment tonight. I need to go see a friend of mine."
Alright. Well, I guess we'll see you all tomorrow, guys.
Yeah, I guess. See you later, partners.
Indeed, you see her walking off, and as you guys leave, you see her walking off with an umbrella towards what looks like a goods store, maybe? You're not sure.
While we're still in there, I would like to use Spirit Touch on the wall in the window where behind which the vampire was.
A lot of pain, a lot of hunger.
Let me see if I manage it, because okay, that's wits, occult.
It's okay. Interestingly enough, someone in group 1 did this too, so let's see what happens.
Oh, God. I heard that didn't go well.
Wait, did I roll it? Did it roll?
Didn't.
Come on, roll.
I think Roll20 is lagging.
Okay, maybe I just need to add it as a modifier. Nope. Oh, what the? Okay, wait. Let's try this again, shall we? Come on. Come on, Roll20. Fuck you, Roll20. I'll do it old school. That went bad.
Yeah, this is actually going to go real bad for you. Do you want to turn that into a critical failure for a beat?
Oh yes, I do.
Okay. You touch the chain and the wall, and there is so much fear, hunger, and anger that hits you, you black out.
Wait, that's not how it works. I just
No,
have to ask you a
that's-
question and you give
No.
me false info.
No, that's what happens.
You
You-
turn it into a critical
you
failure.
get so many emotions, and it boom knocks you out. And you guys just see her go into that room, and she just goes,
Well, I didn't go in the room. I was from outside.
Oh, you were just doing that, so yeah.
So it's just
So
kill
you now
someone.
have. Let me get what's going
Oh
on here.
God.
Let me see. I gotta give you a tilt. Um, I'm gonna say spooked. Yeah, let's give you spooked. So you've got a tilted condition of spooked.
Where the fuck are the conditions? God damn it.
In all honesty, spook or shook would work for this one particular.
What does it do exactly?
I believe it's just a minus to certain dice rolls.
God damn it.
Here, let me call up some, because there's certain ones that are one of those two has no resolve condition, but one of them does. So you want the one with the resolve condition.
Yeah, I think shook can be resolved pretty easily. And in all honesty, the only two conditions I would put on her for this scene in particular would be shook or like kind of like shaken or whatever.
I'm already charmed.
Yeah. So
Yeah, but charmed
Um,
wears off fairly easily, but shook, and I just want to make sure
That's persistent.
I don't give you one that's. Yeah, I just want to make sure I don't give you one that's like, this will last, the rest of the campaign.
shaken is something has frightened your character to extent. Anytime your character takes an action where that fear might hinder her, you may opt to fail the roll and shed this condition.
Uh-huh.
In other words, if she goes back to the room, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, that actually will work pretty well for the story. So we'll go ahead and we'll say,
I'm shook.
yeah. Why don't we say that she is very shaken towards that room. So,
It's-
go ahead.
The important thing to note for her is shaken can lead into worse conditions if you don't get
Yes.
rid of it.
Right, but as long as you stay away from that room. So yeah, Miss Fletcher, that room is kind of scary. You don't want to go back near.
Okay. I don't understand. I don't understand how to resolve this. So I just choose to fail a roll, any roll, or specific.
It has to be a role that has to do with this situation.
Right. So you could just say, "Hey, I'm gonna if you really want to, we could resolve this right here." You could go back to the room and be like, "Well, I failed once. Let's give it a shot again," and then just be like, "You know what? Fuck it," and then just have mental breakdown and just be like, "Nope, can't do it. Don't want to go back in that room." So if you like, we can do that and just make it simple, and your condition can be resolved fairly quickly.
Well, let's say that the whole sitch is a bit shook because I don't know why
Yeah.
I got all these feelings from just touching a glass. I don't understand how it happened. So I would want to investigate what the hell happened to me. So
Right, but
yeah.
you just can't do it. You're just like, ugh. It's like trying to go into a place where like you witnessed a mass murder or something. It just
Hey, could I help her with I took one of my specializations was mood improving.
you can certainly make her feel better. That's for sure.
Well, yeah, but it
Um,
won't help resolve the thing. I just have to
No,
give
it would
in to
give
the
you enough courage
fear.
to go back in there.
No, that's not the point. The point is to fail it in order to resolve
Yeah.
it. You have to give
She
in
goes
to
back
the fear.
like I'll speed it along a bit. I'll say you try and pat her to get her to go in a second time, and she just can't do it. And I'll say that the condition gets resolved. Yeah, Fletcher, you do not want to go back in that room. It
I'm
is
just-
like, ooh.
Can we just
I'm
go?
gonna grab her by the shoulder and try to take her out of the room.
You do so very easily. She doesn't want to go back in there.
Let's just go, okay?
Yeah.
You all proceed back to your homes. Are there any last-minute declarations you wish to make before I start to end the session?
Uh, well, yeah, have to express feelings of untrustfulness.
Okay, let me do a quick scene here with uh, Miss Valentine and Caden, and then I'll let you guys do your scene, and then I'll end. So
Okay.
first things first with Caden. As you go back home, you can already see drones with the Section 9 symbol that you noticed kind of flying around and keeping surveillance on your house, Caden, as you requested.
Hmm. I'm going to go talk to my Major Domo.
Your butler?
Yeah.
Welcome back, Master Caden. Did the meeting go well?
I'm not sure if well would be the word. Can we go somewhere private?
To the cave, then, sir?
No
I
way.
suppose.
All right, you go to a Iron Maiden, which is very rare nowadays to ever see one of these anywhere, even in a museum. And of course, it opens up, the spikes retract, and you go down into your little cave. What did you,
Apparently, there are there truly are more things in this world than dreams are a vague philosophy. And I guess I wasn't that wrong about what I guessed before. Maybe maybe the reason why my parents were killed was not of this world, it was supernatural.
Oh, that is quite a discovery tonight, Master Caden. And what are we going to do?
I I saw a vampire.
You kind of what?
A vampire.
Are you sure it was a vampire, Master Caden?
Well, they say it is. I I cannot say for sure, but it seems like it. It died. It was all weird and had fangs. In fact, I had seen him before, but he was normal,
Would
completely
you roll
different.
me a wits plus empathy, please?
Okay, I don't have empathy. Do I get less dice?
You're untrained, so just go ahead and roll me your wit.
Mm. One.
Alfred seems to be somewhat concerned when you start talking about vampires.
It's not Alfred. That's okay.
Fucking
10 out of 10.
damn it! I'm sorry, you fucked me up.
Cassius.
What's his name? What's his name again?
Cassius Pool.
Cassius. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Fucking it. Cassius looks very concerned when you start talking about vampires.
It is strange, indeed, but it's not that surprising, actually.
Perhaps
We
not,
don't.
but are we really going to believe these supernatural tendencies? Or
Well, believing it or not, apparently this is what I'm going to hunt now.
I see.
Concerned about
Very
the
well
voice.
then, Master Kate.
Did you find anything about the terrorist attack?
Nothing yet. However, there appears to be some activity on one of the networks. A group that might be willing to try and claim that this incident was theirs, although it seems more likely that it's not. However, it might be a good place to start looking.
Hmm. What is that group about? What is their
They call themselves the
called?
Power Core. They are anti-company, anti-government capitalism, shall we say. They are... I hate to use this description, sir, but hippies with guns.
I see. Not pacifist then.
No. Extremists.
Well, I suppose I can't blame them too much. Reality in the streets isn't as beautiful as it is inside, you know.
No, it is not, sir.
Do keep an eye on that, please.
Will do, sire. And as that scene kind of fades over, we go to Miss Valentine's. Hey, hun, you're back. How'd it go?
It it went it went good. I accepted the offer.
Yeah? Sweet. Dude, we're moving up, honey.
We
And
really
he
are.
kind of... Your parts are made of, like, high fiber titanium, so you're not, like, heavy. You're not like a fucking,
Yeah, I'm not like a
10,000 ton synth. So he comes up and he kind of picks you up and gives you a nice little bear hug, and he says, honey, we should definitely celebrate tonight.
oh, you think it's a glass of motor oil and in a beignet?
Whatever you want to do, hon.
Am I gonna commit to this? Yes, I am. So yeah, deep kiss.
Yep,
Uh,
go ahead.
yeah.
Um,
Well, the
we'll,
less.
we'll,
Yeah.
we'll fade to black and let your imagination run on.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
So,
Bum
last scene
chicka
of the
wow
night.
wow.
Exactly. Last scene of the night, when Miss Fletcher and Mr. O'Flynn return back home, we will have them do their discussion. Session will end. So, Fletcher, Flynn, take it away.
I have a question. Would after leaving the place realize that I found myself liking this chick for no reason?
It would only come off as you like this. Ironically, this happened in the last group too. No, it would be more along the lines of you coming off as like, she just presented herself so well and presented just such a good counter argument to you that you just left it be.
She didn't.
You're not
though.
you're not aware that
Okay.
you were charmed. You're just it's like she just kind of waved it off, and you were just like, you know what, never mind, whatever. She's paying us money, she's gonna be giving us all this shit, whatever.
So many strange things happening all at once here. So I guess apparently you're possessed.
Yep.
Yay.
Are you okay?
I'm not sure I really want to talk about it. I don't know what's happening, man. Like, okay, I thought that this was just, just a super shoulder kind of thing. But now I'm getting things that doesn't make sense. Like, as soon as I touched that glass, I can't describe what it felt like.
Where are we again? Are we at home or
Yeah,
are
we're
we
at
on a
home.
ride? Okay. I'll order some soup for you and some takeout, and he's by the way on his laptop like fucking super googling shit or trying to find out more about this Russian thing that the lady told them about, like the experimental thing in the 70s or some shit.
I really don't think we should trust them.
I don't.
But at least if we're on the inside, we'll probably be able to find some more information on them.
That's the plan. That's the plan. Can I roll for it, Brandon, to see if I can find anything about that Russian play?
Go ahead and roll me that massive dice pool.
What exactly are you
I
rolling?
am-
What are you rolling, computers?
I am going to fucking pray to RN Jesus, and I use my ability called All
I
In.
think I can help you out too.
Okay, how many dice are you giving me?
How many dice am I giving him?
You can give him up to 2.
Well, I can
Okay.
give him 2. Yeah.
I am going to pray to RN Jesus. I basically turn all of my dice into one die, and it becomes an 8 again. And one success is with that, I should have 6 successes if I succeed. Let's see. Let's see if this shit works. What the fuck? Oh no!
Oh
Did it
no!
fail?
Yep.
It's a dramatic failure.
You want to turn that into a...
No, it's just a dramatic failure if I
Oh.
do not succeed in general.
How
Your
the
computer-
fuck?
Your computer
RN
gets...
Jesus.
Your computer gets fried. You'll need a new one.
Ah, fuck.
Oh shit!
RN Jesus. Why have you forsaken me?
What the?
Anyway, that was the other
What the hell just happened? Did your laptop just
Don't-
fry itself?
Fucking no. I don't know.
I guess we get to order Chinese from our phones.
It's fine. I still have my computer. It's fine. Don't worry about
Well, I have my computer too. Just don't fry it, okay?
it. That shit. It'll be fine. We'll just see what this training is about. And
Well, I hope
we'll-
you're up to it, because lately you've been a bit, so to say, sluggish, lazy. I'm worried
Whatever it
about
is.
you.
It'll be fine. Nothing bad ever happens.
You've
As
almost
you look at the
died,
laptop,
like, how many, 20 times?
and I never die. Nothing ever bad happens
So far.
so far.
Well, you don't need to be pushing your luck, you know.
Apparently, it's a ghost.
Well, we need to see about that. We have to research it.
That's what
And
I
you know,
was
the
doing.
fact that they say that doesn't mean that it's the truth, okay? I mean, okay, she appeared to be honest, but
Look, that's why we are doing this. It'll be fine.
well, if you say so. Well, anyway, I guess we need to get ready for training tomorrow, so make sure you get rest. Stay
Yeah,
away from
yeah.
the vodka.
Indeed. And as we fade away on that scene, camera goes up to pan the city shot. San Francisco. Normally a place of trade, business, and economics. And of course, the lovely city. However, this is a world of darkness. Nothing is ever as it seems. Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. This has been another session, San Francisco by Night. I'll see you all later.